They dug, look, this started that hole. They kind of did this hole. Where is it? Right there. Kind of dug right there. Kind of started digging right there. And I've never done, Miss Dinky, I've never done any like research on why dogs dig, like, you know. But to my knowledge and my first opinion and observation, I thought like they were like digging for something, but it kind of seems more like as Miss Dinky, she's gonna dig and dig. It seems more like they're digging for the because it's cool, you know, like the dirt and the mud under there. Look, she's like, Dink. But I don't know. Like right now, as I say that, she was digging on that little spot, and then she was like, she just Mary Jane put her ball in the hole that she's digging. But Miss Dinky was just kind of licking the dirt, like the minerals or the whatever in the ground or whatever. Mary Jane put hers in the hole, and now she's chilling right there. What are you chilling right there? Is that good? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are we done? We've been here a while. It's almost 11. Are we done? Mary Jane, your piece? Come on. Miss Dinky have it. Mary Jane. Here. Look, she said nope. Miss Dinky ran to get it though. Feel that breeze? It's a nice breeze, huh? Mary Jane's birthday was 2 days ago, 3 days ago. My birthday is next week. What we gonna do? Nothing really, I guess. Come back to the park and run some more. I got a dentist appointment Monday. It was for a cleaning. I'm supposed to get a cap on the tooth, but I'm waiting on insurance. But I get a cleaning Monday, and the dentist that does my cleanings now, or has been doing my cleanings now, she numbs my mouth so good, you know. Of course, you know, I can't feel nothing, and then just cleans my teeth. And it's the first dentist that I've had numb me at all, even as good as she numbs me. She numbs me good, but I've never had a dentist numb me for a teeth cleaning. But if that's the way she does it, you know, whatever. That's the way she does it. But also though, having my teeth cleaned before, I would go in, boom, 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 get a teeth cleaning, leave, and boom, boom, boom. Now, I go in, I get shot up, you know, everywhere, and then I get a teeth cleaning, and then I'm numb, you know, and then for hours still, and then after the numbness wears off, then I'm sore. So it's kind of a hassle to get all numb just to get like a cleaning. But for whatever reason, I guess, you know, they get more money and they use more money or whatever, you know, for insurance and whatnot. And I guess To my understanding, that the more type of procedures, things, or whatever that these doctors do, the more money they get, for doing the type of procedure or whatever they're doing. So it's kind of them kind of scamming the system a little more so they could get paid more. This guy over here, he's using the sink over there, and he's just doing all his laundry. He's got a big old basket, and he's going to hang his stuff up along the fences, like we've seen in other videos of mine. And what's crazy on that is it's because it's crazy is, and I don't know if it's him specifically, but others, but they'll now the bathrooms aren't open, but because of like this particular incident, for some reason they allowed the sinks to be turned on for this particular reason, so homeless can go there and wash their clothes. But my point was, after they do it, they hang them on the fences here, and then the parks people, they don't care about that either. They let them do it, but then they hang them on the fences here, and then 9 times out of 10, the clothes stay there, and they don't come back for their clothes, or they don't get their clothes or whatever. So in a way, it's like you come here and like he's using the bike rack now to wring them out. You see, he's using it to wring them out, which is good, and hey, he needs his clothes cleaned, and he's cleaning them. But after you clean them and you hang them on the fence like here to dry, and then leave them, what was the point in washing them? What was the point in washing them? So now, see, now he's gonna hang his clothes up right there on that fence so they can dry. But that takes me to my point of when I used to be homeless. Okay, well, so today, and you see these people, and they are pushing these grocery carts and these I don't know, like this one guy, he had like 6 grocery carts and and boxes and all kind of stuff that he's just like lugging around, pushing, and like a little caravan of homelessness. And this one guy, he had a dolly, and then he had boxes stacked up on the dolly, that the boxes were stacked up so higher than like the dolly, and then budgie corded together, and he all day and yada yada, he would wheel around his little pack, but the thing about it is he would rarely like be in the stuff. He would just like, it was like his personal stuff, and he just didn't want to part with it, so he just carried it around, even if it was just in a box or not. And then it's not like he was doing it, and he looks decent and stuff, because he was nasty and needed medical attention, bath, etc. And when I was homeless, if I didn't have if I didn't have money to wash my clothes, I wouldn't just go to a bathroom and just like wash my clothes and then just hopefully I could leave them somewhere or put them somewhere and hang them up to dry and just stand there or sit there for hours and let them dry. What I would do when I was homeless and I had dirty clothes on, what you do is you go to the Goodwill or the thrift store and you buy other clothes, and now the ones that are dirty, you throw them away, or depending on how dirty they are, you throw them away. Bottom line, and for that, like, let's just say you're so destitute and homeless that you can't afford to go to a Goodwill or something. You go to the church and you get and they have clothes and stuff that they've been donated that they give you. So you go there and you get you some new clothes or clean clothes, and you get rid of the dirty ones. You know, I mean, it's pretty simple. Uh, Even like there was a shirt. I remember there was this superhero comic book shirt or whatever. It was like my favorite shirt. But at this point in time, I couldn't just take it off and do laundry. So there went the shirt. You know, and but that's the way it goes. Especially like if you're homeless. But that's the way it goes. But a lot of times, you know, I got my backpack and I've got, you know, like I'm traveling or camping or whatever. You know, you have a couple shirts in there, a couple underwear, a couple socks, a couple pants or shorts, and you swap them out. You put your dirty clothes in a bag, and that goes to the bottom of your backpack. And it's in a bag, so it's separate than from the clean clothes. Now, the end of the week, or payday, or, you know, whatever, you go to the laundromat, you know, you wash those clothes, you know, and it's about a load of clothes. So it takes you about an hour and a half. You go to the laundry. Now your backpack it only has a bag left in it, and the bag is dirty clothes. You've used all your clean clothes. So you open your backpack, you take the bag out. Now you're at the laundromat, you wash your clothes. $4, $5. Now you have clean clothes again. You start over. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's pretty simple. It's pretty. But when you're on drugs or needing drugs, or, you know, that's your whole thing is to get drugs, do drugs, to be on drugs. You know, you don't think like that because you're worried about anything and everything else. And anything and everything meaning having drugs, getting drugs, and doing drugs. Which is wild. But everybody has their own deal. And what gets me for that is people will be that way, but then they'll say, oh yeah, I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to live homeless. But that's your whole thing, you know, is to be homeless. You know, you live to be homeless. When I was homeless, I lived to do my best to not be homeless. You know, that was my main goal, was to not be homeless. And I stayed at this hotel, the cheapest hotel I could find in Hollywood, or anywhere, but it was in Hollywood, and it was the nastiest hotel. Well, it was the second, because the first one was right down the street, but they were affiliated. They were the same owner and everything. But so it was the Mark Twain Hotel. It was a big pink building. Well, it was $55 a night, and so I hustled and did stuff, odd jobs and whatnot, etc. And every day, every evening, I would go in, and sometimes I would have over $55, but sometimes I would only have $55. Sometimes I would have $55 and no food or stuff all day, but I got my rent, and I would lay down and be able to eat and shower and whatnot. Well, so I did that for a whole year, $55 a night. And the little Indian man, and it was two Indian dudes, and they were brothers, and they were twins, and go, and a whole year went by, and the man, or one of the brothers, you could tell the difference. They were twins, but one was a little chunky and one was real skinny. So the one guy, he goes, why don't you pay for the week? And I was like, man, I can't pay for the week. And the week was like $140, $130. And I was like, I would love to. He goes, and so he cut me a deal. He said, you just pay me every day, and we'll take it off as paying for the week, and then then you can start just paying me by the week. So 130, let's say, divided by 7, instead of 55, that was what I had to pay. So I was like, cool. And then of course eventually I was able just to give him whole 135, 140, and boom, here's for the week, and then not have to give him money day by day. But I stayed at that hotel for almost 4 years, and it got better in a way, because like, well, when they let me do that, that was a blessing and a half. That's where like it all started for me. And then of course like going to resource places and stuff. But again, 99% of resource places and assistant places or whatever in California, they don't help you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with what you need. If you need, again, like donated clothes or something, they might say, okay, go to the closet, and then there's just piles of clothes everywhere, and you just have to sift through the clothes, dig through the clothes, and hopefully find some clothes, which is nasty, but but if that's the assistance, then that's the assistance. That's what you'll get. When they say they'll help you with like finding a home or a job or anything meaningful, which they say that's their whole MO, that's not true. They'll help you only if it helps you being homeless. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't help you not be homeless. It only helps you to be homeless. And how they get money and grants or whatever, and whatever fundage and stuff is a big scam. And then though, they help you with food, or there's a food place that they feed on Tuesdays. Go there and get a hot meal and stuff, and it's like eating Joe Exotic's garbage pizza. It's mostly expired stuff and whatever. Well, just like food banks. Most of the food banks is all expired stuff. And the most stuff that is not expired would be like dairy, and but it is on expiration. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's not like which is weird also, because if all these people and places donate food and stuff, how are they donating just food that's just expiring? Like it expires tomorrow. You get it right now, yay, but it expires tomorrow. And then they try to change the whole thing. Well, if it says expired, that's just what I'm saying? Well, that's just a thing. It doesn't necessarily mean it's expired. It's like, well, then why put it there? What I'm saying? That goes a whole nother. That goes to a whole nother subject or whatever. I think she's after that little birdie. There was a couple places in Long Beach when I started back in California and I was homeless. There's a couple places in Long Beach that they have flyers and stuff, that we're having a barbecue at this church and blah blah blah, and you're homeless, come on, and we have raffles and all this stuff, and then you go, and now you're there, and you want to participate, and you want this good hot food or this barbecue or and they want you to vote for them or whatever, or they want you to vote for. Since hey, this is my fundraiser, etc. I want you all to have good time and good barbecue and stuff. But here's a ballot. Who you voting for? And of course, it's all filled out and everything for that person, etc. All you do is sign it. You know what I'm saying? So that also that's the trick. That's as long as we got your signature and stuff for you voting for us, yeah, you can have this barbecue. But there's a trick to that too. Now you can't just eat the barbecue. You have to eat the small little bitty portion plate that we give you. If you want seconds, well, you might not be able to get seconds or even enough to feed you. You'll get a taste and whatnot. But Dinky. So they're rolling around, not listening, being hard-headed. So, again, like that, taking advantage of homeless and etc. They want you to be homeless. They don't want you to because they in a way need you. And the more that you're homeless, or the more people, the more people that's homeless, the more they can use you to benefit themselves. Again, like funding and stuff. Well, we have 100 people homeless, and we have their names and social security numbers or whatnot. And so now, see, that's why we need more money or extra funding to help and do for these people. But they don't do for these people. You know what I'm saying? So they use the money for themselves and to better themselves, and they use the people like to get voted in on something, and because they also get like little resource things like bus passes or bus tokens or voucher for a thrift store or Salvation Army or and so then that's the stuff that they give to the people. The money and stuff to help the people, that's theirs. You know what I'm saying? They keep that. It's supposed to help the people and help these people, but they keep that. And how they help the people is by the extra free little things that they get. Again, like the bus passes or voucher things or this and that thing. And then with their millions of dollars that they also got, let's say they got $1 million. Well, they'll take 5,000, okay, 1,000 out, and again buy some barbecue or buy some stuff, and then say, here you go, we're having a thing. Again, so they can do more for themselves. Think. Have a good day. Think.